Okay, so I wanted to say this at the very beginning of the video, but yes, the previous commentary on this channel was talking about Nashville Predators defenseman Dante Fabro and whether or not he could be a Vancouver Canucks trade target. The video was recorded last night and pre-schedule uploaded earlier this morning, so that's why I put in the description of this video that it was made before Dante Fabro was placed on waivers. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that situation. Who knows if any team, like Vancouver, decides to throw a claim at this dude. But what I also wanted to do before I head out on my day trip today was talk about some comments made by Patrik Allvin. Because Brendan Batchelor went out there and tweeted this earlier this morning too, that Allvin, the Vancouver Canucks GM, has just met with the media. Here are the 4 notes. 1. Brock Boeser is still being evaluated for an upper body injury. He won't play tonight. Upper body, pretty much I guess it would say head here. We're assuming head. He got clocked in the head by Tanner Jeannot. Number 2, Patrik Allvin is hopeful that Dakota Joshua can play on this homestand. Number 3, there is no timeline for Thatcher Demko. And number 4, Jonathan Lekkerimaki tweaked something and will not play for Abbotsford tonight. There also was a follow-up tweet from Brendan Batchelor. Allvin did say that Lekkerimaki might have been an option to be called up if he hadn't tweaked something. So, we've got 4 topics here. Let's divide it up into 2-minute segments each. Brock Boeser still being evaluated for an upper body injury. Not surprising there. Obviously, the fact that he left the game against the LA Kings was a noteworthy deal. A lot of people were concerned immediately for Boeser and his health. The guy is on fire. He has been one of the most productive players in Vancouver the past 2 seasons. He has been one of the best goal scorers in Vancouver the past 2 seasons. It's ridiculous to take a look at how he has been able to become that after the stellar rookie year that he had where he was sniping pucks from distance to the future years where he stopped sniping and stopped scoring and started working on his playmaking to now where he has essentially become the tap-in, rebound, sometimes sniping it kind of guy, and he has been very effective in doing that. His tips in front are deadly, baby. Brock Boeser is certainly one of a kind. But, of course, we had seen the Canucks take control of the LA Kings game and win in a pretty convincing fashion without Brock, so I'm not too worried about Vancouver's overall chances. I mean, look, they didn't play with Boeser in Game 7 of the series against Edmonton anyways, right? So they're already used to playing Edmonton without Boeser in the lineup. Okay, maybe that's a little bit of a low blow. But the Canucks do have the Oilers later today. We'll see what happens as McDavid and Draisaitl go up against Pettersson and Miller. Petey's got to really start to carry things now since Brock is not going to be in the lineup. So, of course, I'm paying attention to that. We're going to maybe hit Shell up with the car vlog after. Yeah, I don't think I could do a regular commentary about it. I'm not going to be here. So we're going to have to do a car vlog about whatever happens in the game once it's all said and done. But heading into the other notes here, Dakota Joshua. The Canucks are hopeful that he'll be able to play on this homestand. What essentially that says to me is that he's not going to play tonight. And I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed by that news, considering it was already sort of implied that Joshua would potentially be an option for Vancouver on, what was it, Tuesday against Anaheim? We were hopeful that he could play against San Jose, but that didn't happen, and then there was sort of a timeline set for Tuesday, and then that didn't happen, and so we were like, okay, it's going to be Thursday, and then that didn't happen, and now, Saturday, Canucks playing the Oilers. Dakota Joshua would have been a very valued presence in that matchup, and no, he is not going to be an option. Now, the Canucks homestand goes on till Tuesday, November 19th, so 10 days into the future. There are 5 games between the Oilers game and that November 19th game against the Rangers. The Canucks are playing off against the Flames, the Islanders, the Blackhawks, the Predators before facing off against NYR. So excluding tonight's Oilers game, obviously that's 5 games that Dakota Joshua might have the opportunity at returning to the lineup in. I mean, obviously, I don't want to wait till Tuesday, November 19th, but, you know, the guy had cancer, so we can be a little bit more lenient there. I'm just really hoping to get that Dakota Joshua, Kiefer Sherwood stack in fantasy. I have both of them on my team already. Sherwood was such an underrated pickup, and then Joshua, I took him in the draft, even though there were going to be injury concerns. Just stashed him on the IR for the entire season so far, but I'm excited. Cannot wait to see Dakota Joshua back up and running. It's just kind of unfortunate that we keep on getting conflicting reports as to the timeline. We keep on hearing, oh, he could be there, but then he's not there, and now it's being pushed further into the week. No timeline for Thatcher Demko, though, Patrik Allvin says, which I think is somewhat of a good thing when you consider the last update we had about this dude. Last time we had spoken about Demko, it was about the idea that the Vancouver Canucks may be rushing the guy, which of course is absolutely not ideal. I mean, it makes sense in principle as to why an NHL team would want their star goalie to come back as soon as he can, but some of the other reports that we had been looking at as to whether or not Demko really is ready and whether or not he is progressing on terms that he's comfortable with, this has all been a pretty tough go for the Vancouver Canucks star netminder, who was supposed to be available much earlier, but who ended up falling out. If there is a world where Vancouver is patient enough to just say, hey, we got a good enough goalie in Lankinen, he's doing his thing, we do not need to rush Demko, the team is still one of the top teams in the Pacific. Like, they're doing all right. I don't think goaltending has been necessarily a problem, unless Artur Shilovs is in net. So for Thatcher Demko, I've been saying it the entire time, as long as he's able to recover properly in a way that he feels comfortable with, then I'm totally okay with that. Take as long as you need. Lank the... I was trying to think of a nickname. Kevin Lankinen. Lanky? I don't know. Lank the Tank. There you go. That's perfect. Lank the Tank has got things on lock, baby. So Thatcher the Snatcher, please, you do not need to come back. Do not let these Vancouver Canucks medical people rush you. Anyways, let's go over onto the other update that we had seen about Jonathan Lekkerimaki. Seems like he did get injured a little bit, and he will not play for Abbotsford, which is unfortunate considering that he would have been able to get recalled up to the Vancouver Canucks if he was not hurt. This perfectly feeds into the aftermath of that Daniel Sprong trade that we had seen from yesterday. Vancouver sent Sprong away for literally nothing, future considerations to the Seattle Kraken. But if you wanted yourselves a guy who could maybe do some of the same things that Sprong can do, who has an offensive edge like Sprong and who can shoot the puck like Sprong, Lekkerimaki is a good bet, so obviously seeing him as an option in management's eyes is a good sign. We just want to see him healthy and be able to participate in regular Vancouver Canucks action, preferably in a way that doesn't hurt him. So that is obviously good. I think as time goes on, we will see more guys rotating around in that bottom spot. We already said this in the previous video, but like, assume Boeser and Joshua are healthy, there's really like one roster spot that you could say is up for grabs. You could talk about Nils Åman, you can talk about the Lekkerimakis and the Rotus and the Baineses. There are a lot of guys that can rotate around in there, and we'll have to wait and see when Lekkerimaki gets his chance to do so. But for now, I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about these Canucks notes. Patrik Allvin spoke out about how Brock Boeser is injured, how Joshua is injured, how Demko is injured, and how Lekkerimaki is injured. Yeah, it's kind of a pretty common theme amongst the guys that Allvin had talked about today. But thoughts in the comment section either way. We'll also make a video about the Oilers and the Canucks game later tonight, although you will have to see my ugly mug once that gets live up on YouTube. For now, though, I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.